maybe, just maybe, you can see right here, that little white speck. That's where we're going, okay? Zdrafty Nasichki. I'm Jamal, and today, guys, we're going to be walking up Bunarjik hill in Plovdiv, Bulgaria, and we're going to be exploring a... Oh, you have a better view here. You see? Just here. A little park here where you can work out. a somewhat controversial monument. Now, this monument is called Alyosha, which is the diminutive form of the name Alexei. Now, this statue, which you'll see later on, it actually is a, let's say, a representation of a soldier called Alexei, who was, I think he was a Ukrainian Soviet soldier, and this statue was erected on top of this hill, Bunarjik, or I think that's the name of it. It was erected on the top of this hill, kind of to celebrate or to commemorate the Soviet Union's, let's say, participation in freeing Bulgaria from the Axis forces. So we're going to climb up, have a look at it, and you may be asking, well, Jamal, why is this so controversial? Well, the reason is, well, the people of Plovdiv at the time didn't necessarily want this giant thing, this giant domineering structure overlooking all of the city. And what you'll find is, as you get to the top, you actually have a sort of panoramic view of all of Plovdiv. And that's primarily why it's controversial. Actually, after the fall of the Soviet Union, especially in Bulgaria, there were kind of, let's say, mixed reactions by people, and especially the locals of Plovdiv. By the way, beautiful view. By the people of Plovdiv with regards to this monument. Some people wanted it, but a lot of people, including council representatives, wanted this to be taken down. It was, it was a relic of a time gone, and that Plovdiv needed to move forward and perhaps disassociate itself from its, Soviet past. Now, that's controversial, obviously, for many reasons, as this is a huge part of history for many people. But yeah, moving on from that then. So I think if I'm correct, it was 96, 97. The local representatives of the council tried to take Alyosha down, as you can see a little bit better here, but they were unsuccessful. For a long time, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, Alyosha was actually it was damaged. People tried to raid it. Citizens tried to bring it down themselves. A few of my local Bulgarian friends have been telling me how it constantly used to have graffiti sprayed onto it. Now, the validity of those claims, I'm not 100% sure, but I trust them. However, now there are security cameras, and if I'm correct, at night time there's some security who make sure people don't mess with it too much. So as you can see, we're starting to get a little bit higher, and we're starting to get a good view actually of Plovdiv. It's a wonderful sunny day, 3rd of June, I think. 3rd of June. So it's about 20 degrees right now, but later will be 23. As you know, Plovdiv is a very, very warm city, and this is actually quite cold for June. Surprisingly, I think from next week it will go up to more like 30 degrees or so. Now, moving on from that, now that I have given you a little introduction to old Alexei or Alyosha. Oh, there's something in the bushes, bloody hell. Now I've given you an introduction to Alyosha, I want to answer a few more questions, or maybe 1 or 2 questions that I often get on my channel, okay? Before we get to the top, it shouldn't take too long. one of them, oh, this is very pretty. I like those things. I like such little, wow, look at this view already. Bloody hell. That's Peng. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking me, especially in response to my last video talking about life. One sec, selfie, bam, thumbnail, bam. Especially with regards to my last video, why do people leave, and also talking about my life in Bulgaria. People keep saying, hey, why did you choose Plovdiv over Sofia? A lot of people are quite surprised because obviously Sofia is known as this very modern new city. Not new, well, yeah, it's only 100 or so years old, so it is still quite new, relatively speaking, compared to Plovdiv, which is, you know, which has evidence of its existence since 4000 BC. If you go to Nebet Tepe, an old Thracian settlement. So the general consensus is Plovdiv is the, just trying to give you guys some views as well. As you can see, we're very close to old Alyosha, so I'll stay here for a second. People were asking me, yeah, why did you choose Plovdiv over Sofia? Because Sofia is a little bit more modern. There's more business. People are doing a lot more there, more clubs, more nightlife, etc. And if I'm honest, that's exactly the reason why I didn't go. First of all, I was suggested to come to Plovdiv by a friend, Guinea, and he was my business partner for a while, and he basically told me about this concept that they have in Plovdiv called Aylak, you know, the relaxed way of life. And I was really attracted to it. After living in Sheffield, Birmingham, spending a little bit of time in London, I was burnt out of, you know, big English cities that lacked, you know, identity, that lacked flavour, that lacked culture. And I wanted to find something, I don't know, a little bit more real. So that's why I chose Plovdiv, for one of the reasons. Another reason was also, it's a little bit cheaper. I mean, money is not terribly important to me right now. I've never really worshipped money, and you know, I work hard, so it's not a problem, but I didn't think there was any point also going to Sofia, where everything was very expensive, maybe even overcharged. They like to overcharge sometimes foreigners, from what I heard on the internet. And Plovdiv just seemed like a more friendly, down-to-earth place. Now, guys, we are almost there. You can see him, but I found something. I don't know what this is. Apparently they have Wi-Fi. I'm not sure about that. But let's have a look. I think it's just I've seen this a few times. I've never really gone inside. There's nothing special here, guys. Just an old abandoned building, I'd say. And this is common actually in Bulgaria. You know, it's not too bad, not terrible. It's just there are quite a few abandoned buildings within the city. It's just, I guess, probably after the fall of the Soviet Union, you know, people didn't know what to do with them. Although these things are being upgraded, updated, and actually Plovdiv specifically is becoming a very beautiful city. If you're a foreigner watching this, yeah, definitely check out Plovdiv. Now, before we, wow, I almost have the whole place to myself. Wow. But before we get to Alyosha, there's another memorial here. Yesterday, actually, in Plovdiv, or in Bulgaria, it was a very big day. It was a day of remembrance, 2nd of June. And obviously, people have put up wreaths to pay respects for those that have been lost in wars previous. So, very, very beautiful. One thing, and look at this is amazing. Very, very pretty. And there he is, Big Alexei. We're gonna head up there now. One thing I will say I do like about Plovdiv and Bulgaria in general is, I would say not only how chilled people are or the nice vibe, also how close to nature it is, although in Bulgaria you are always pretty much close to nature, but also just generally how aesthetic it is. And just, I know it's a small little square. I wish this was running with water, to be fair. I wish that fountain was doing something there. But in general, it's pretty well maintained, pretty clean, and I like the access to the hills in Plovdiv. That's another reason I like it here. Plovdiv has a large number of hills, my favourites being this one, which I call Alyosha. Obviously it's called Bunarjik. They have Meleji Home, Youth Hill, and a few other places. So anyway, let's head up. These steps, tell you what, it takes a bit of effort to get up here. And what I'll do when I get to the top is I'll probably have a little workout. So for anything, let's start. As you can see here, CCCP, old Soviet star. You've got an image, maybe I can fix the lighting. It's quite shady here, but you've got people, families holding grapes, bread, and soldiers with guns hugging each other, brothers in arms. So, as I said, this is a form of Soviet memorabilia, let's say, or let's say Soviet history in Plovdiv, and it is somewhat controversial because, like I said, not everyone benefited from this, and in fact a lot of people were hurt by, let's say, how do I word it, Soviet occupation. Now here you see a more, let's say, aggressive version of the monument, or let's say little statue. I don't know what you call it, sculpture within the statue. And you've got obviously soldiers, Soviet soldiers fighting, pushing forward, and if you go up you can actually see Alyosha's gun. I don't know if you can see, but that's actually a gun, and it's very hard to get it to scale because it's very, very big, but hopefully you can see a little bit of it, a little bit more of it here. So an incredibly beautiful monument, and honestly, in my opinion, hope it's not too windy, it would be very sad if this monument did go, if it was removed, primarily because, you know, the good, sometimes we need to preserve the good and the bad, let's say, and I think a lot of people have now, a lot of people in Plovdiv have kind of accepted that with regards to this monument. I know the youth are probably not as zealous when it comes to rewriting history, or, you know, the bad things of history, obviously, because they didn't and experience it. In fact, all of us, you know, all of us, let's say all of us of the younger generation are extremely lucky to not have experienced the horrors of past, whether that's World War II, the Soviet Union, the Cold War, go even further back with my family, colonialism. Yeah, we're all very lucky nowadays to let's say not experience such hardships, which is why when people ask me, you know, or tell me, oh, life in Bulgaria is terrible, it's horrible, it's the end of the world, I often ask people to while very windy, to exercise some perspective, and to kind of, let's say, cast their minds back to the lives that our grandparents and great-grandparents had to experience. We're so lucky, so ridiculously lucky, and now even people like me, foreigners, get to come here, a place which previously we definitely wouldn't have been welcome, perhaps, and experience this beauty. So yeah, there you go, guys. Alyosha. Unfortunately my camera doesn't do it justice, it's not big enough, but incredible panoramic view, as you can see. So continuing on from that, guys, all I want to say is yeah, hope you like this video. Something new. Got my little GoPro, and honestly, this was primarily a test of the camera as well. Give you a nice little view of it there. Hope you can see it. This was a thumbnail time. This was also a test of my new camera to see if I can make more videos like this. I'm definitely going to go into the mountains soon and explore more of Bulgaria and kind of show you guys the real Bulgaria. And one thing I really want to do, actually, I'll keep talking right now because I'm enjoying the views. Let me give you guys more views. Come on, man. That's a hill. That's one of the hills. I live somewhere over here. I'm not going to tell you guys where because there'll be some creeps. Probably. I'm joking. Of course, you guys aren't creeps. But yeah, I'll show you guys more of the hill, more of the panoramic views. It's great. I'm the only person here, so I can just run around and talk. It is in the morning though. It's like 9 AM. I suppose many people are working. I don't have to work until this afternoon, so that's why I can do this. But yeah, hopefully guys, I'm going to be doing more videos like this soon with the GoPro. I think I'll be testing the stabilization. I think yeah, I'll be doing videos in nature, in the Rhodopes, maybe some villages, maybe my girlfriend's little villages where she lives. I can have a look at those, talk to some locals. I really want to improve my Bulgarian and try and let's say communicate more with the locals and yeah, record more of the culture. I think that would be a very important thing to do. So yeah, I seem to have a guest. So I think that's it, guys. I think I've shown you Alyosha. I'll show you one more time. There you go, scrolling up, and actually I'll try keep it in view as I walk down. You can just see the scale of how big it is. I really don't do it justice with this camera. It's actually I think it's 11 meters or so, which is a bloody large size. It's a very big one, to be honest. That's what she said. Wee. But yeah, guys, anyway, if you like this video, leave some comments. Where would you like me to go next? What should I check out next? Actually, I'm really excited to let's say start recording more content for you guys. One thing I decided to do, because I talk to you guys, I talk to you while I'm walking, was free up more of my time so that I can make more videos, because honestly I really enjoy it. And yeah, I want to explore this country more. I want to explore more of the Balkans. Also what was that? Also explore more of let's say just Eastern Europe in general. Go places where you know, perhaps places that perhaps that people don't look upon them in such a positive light. And I want to try and yeah, let's say actually I'll go this way. Change people's perspective on places. You know, a lot of people have these backwards, stupid, antiquated views of Bulgaria, the Balkans, Eastern Europe. Whether they say it's a dangerous place, it's a racist place, it's a poor place. Yeah, not everything's perfect, but there's a lot of good there as well. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to actually go back up and do a workout and do some reading, as it's still very early. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon, okay? Peace. Ciao.